இன்னமுதமூட்டுகே நிங்கேவா பைங்கிளியே தென்னரங்கம் பாடவல்ல சீர்பெருமாள் பொன்னஞ்சிலசேர் நுதலியர்வேள் சேரலர்கோன் எங்கள் குலசேகரன் என்றே கூறு. ஸ்ரீமதே ராமானுஜாய நமஹ. Perumal Thirumozhi is the divine composition of Kulashekara Azhwar, the royal saint who renounced everything, including his kingdom, in his longing to attain Yemperuman. In the fourth Padhigam of Perumal Thirumozhi, Kulashekara Azhwar, overwhelmed by his yearning for Yemperuman, declares that he would rather dwell in Thirumalai than rule his own kingdom. Yet, when he still does not get Perumal's vision, the Azhwar turns inward and speaks of his akinchanyam, his utter lack of qualification or ability to offer anything, and his ananyagatitvam, having no refuge other than Yemperuman. These feelings pour out through the 10 pasurams of the 5th Padhigam. Here, Kulashekara Azhwar repeatedly surrenders to the Yemperuman who resides in Thiruvittruvakkodu, expressing a profound conviction. No matter how much suffering you subject me to, I know it is for my ultimate good, and I will return only to you. The essence of this Thirumozhi is clear. Yemperuman alone is the sole refuge for the Azhwar and for us. What makes this Padhigam unique? In worldly life, we have many kinds of relationships with the people around us. In the first 9 pasurams of this Padhigam, Kulashekara Azhwar examines 9 types of relationships and emphasizes that Sriman Narayana alone is the one with whom we share all these bonds in their purest, perfect, and unbreakable form across multiple births. It is because of the very nature of these relationships that he insists that we must surrender only to Sriman Narayana. Scholars therefore celebrate this Padhigam as a beautiful exposition of Nava Sambandham, the ninefold relationship with Perumal. Each pasuram follows a striking pattern. The Azhwar presents a real-life example and then extends the analogy to illuminate his own relationship with Yemperuman. This becomes the foundation of his Sharanagathi, total surrender, in every verse. This Padhigam is dedicated to the Lord of Thiruvittruvakkodu, a Divyadesam in Malaynadu, present-day Kerala, now known as Thirumittakkodu. Let us look at the first pasuram. Tharu Thuyaram Thadayel, un saranallal saranillai, விரைக்குழுவு மலர் பொழில் சூழ் விற்றுவக்கோட்டம்மானே அரிசினத்தால் ஈன்றதாய் அகற்றிடினும் மற்றவள் தன்னருள் நினைந்தே அழும் குழவி அதுவே போன்றிருந்தேனே. Addressing the Lord of Vittruvakkodu, Vittruvakkotamman, Kulashekara Azhwar declares, no matter how much suffering you subject me to, I surrender only to you. To express this, he uses the imagery of an infant crying for its mother. A mother may, in a moment of anger or frustration, push her baby away. Yet, the infant, who has known only her care and love, does not turn elsewhere. Unable to express the needs, the baby cries more intensely and clings to the mother, seeking comfort and protection. In the same way, Azhwar stands before Yemperuman like a helpless child, seeking his care. His refuge remains only the Lord of Thiruvittruvakkodu. Vyakyanams call this father-son relationship, where Perumal is our parent and we all are his children. The underlying message is that we all are dependent on Perumal. The second Pasuram. கண்டாரிகழ்வனவே காதலந்தான் செய்திடினும் கொண்டானை அல்லால் அறியா குலமகள் போல் விண்தோய் மதிள் புழசூழ் விற்றுவக்கோட்டம்மா நீ கொண்டாளாயாகிலும் உன் குறைகழலே கூறுவனே. In this Pasuram, Azhwar presents yet another moving comparison. He says, a chaste and well brought up wife will never think of another man, even if her husband's conduct and neglect are criticized by the whole world. In the same way, even if you neglect me, I will never stop praising your divine feet. The word Kulamagal in the Pasuram refers to a woman of noble upbringing and virtuous character. Azhwar compares himself to such a devoted wife. Just as she does not abandon her husband despite neglect, hardship, or public blame, Azhwar remains steadfast in his loyalty to Vittruvakkotamman. This Pasuram highlights the husband-wife relationship where Perumal is the husband and we Jeevatmas are the wives. Pasuram 3 goes as follows. மீன் நோக்கும் நீழ்வயல் சூழ் விற்றுவக்கோட்டம்மா என் பால் நோக்காயாகிலும் உன் பற்றல்லால் பற்றிலேன் தான் நோக்காலெத்துயரம் செய்திடினும் தார்வேந்தன் கோல் நோக்கி வாழும் குடி போன்றிருந்தேனே. In this Pasuram, Azhwar offers another powerful comparison. He says, even when a king imposes strict laws and harsh measures, the citizens continue to live with hope under his rule, honoring the authority symbolized by his Sengol. In the same way, even if you are not considerate towards me, I will continue to look up to you and will never seek refuge in anyone else. Kulashekara Azhwar compares Vittruvakkodu Temple to a king whose actions cause discomfort or suffering. Azhwar sees himself as a loyal subject whose faith never wavers. This Pasuram highlights the king-citizen relationship. The famous Tamil work Purananuru compares this relationship to that of the soul and the body, saying, Mannan uyirthe malarthalai ulagam, that the king is the soul of his citizens. Vyakyanams thus identify this as the soul-body relationship. Pasuram 4. வாழாலறுத்துச் சுடினும் மருத்துவன்பால் மாளாத காதல் நோயாளன் போல் மாயத்தால் மீளாத்துயர் தரினும் விற்றுவக்கோட்டம்மா நீயாளா உனதருளே பார்ப்பன்னடியேனே. This famous Pasuram, the fourth in this Padhigam, is outwardly simple but profoundly philosophical. Azhwar says, when a doctor cuts or cauterizes us to cure a disease, we do not hate him. On the contrary, we trust the doctor, feel grateful, and return again and again. In the same way, even if you subject me to endless hardships, I still wait only for your missing grace. Here, Azhwar pictures himself as a patient and Yemperuman as the physician. The suffering he undergoes is the result of his own karma, but it is the Lord who administers the treatment. The pains and trials given by Yemberaman are like a doctor's surgical cuts and burns, not punishments, but essential measures to cure us of the deep rooted disease of karma. It is vital that we understand this correctly. Yemberaman's actions are always focused on our ultimate good. Therefore, we must never lose faith in him. This Pasuram teaches that the hardships we endure are not punishments but divine remedies. This same analogy appears in Periyarvar's words, Maruttuvanai ninra Manivanna, Mamanivannan who stands as the doctor. Thus, this Pasuram beautifully illustrates protector protected relationship. Some also call this doctor patient relationship, since Perumal is the divine physician who cures the disease of rebirth. Pasuram 5. வெங்கண் திண்களிரடர்த்தாய் விற்றுவக்கோட்டம்மானே எங்கு போய் உய்கேன் உன் இணையடியே அடையலல்லால் எங்கும் போய்க் கரை காணாது எரிகடல்வாய் மீண்டேயும் வங்கத்தின் கூம்பேரும் மாப்பறவை போன்றேனே. Azhwar asks, when a caged bird on a ship is finally released in the middle of the ocean, it perches on the mast in search of land. It flies around in all directions, and upon finding nothing stable, it will return to rest on that same mast. Just like that bird, where else can I go other than your feet? In this Pasuram, the ocean refers to samsara. The bird is the Jeevatma lost in the ocean of suffering, and Perumal is the mast symbolizing the final refuge. And finally, the ship that saves us from this ocean is a Divyadesam, just like Vittruvakkodu. This Pasuram refers to the supporter-supported relationship. Pasuram 6. செந்தழலே வந்து அழலைச் செய்திடினும் செங்கமலமந்தரம் சேர் வெங்கதிரோர் கல்லால் அலராவால் வெந்துயர் வீட்டா விடினும் விற்றுவக்கோட்டம்மா உன் அந்தமில் சீர்கல்லால் அகம் குழைய மாட்டேனே. In this Pasuram, Azhwar gives a delicate and striking comparison. He says, a lotus blooms only in the gentle warmth of the sun. Seeing this, some may try to make it bloom by bringing fire close to it. But the flower will not open for anything except the sun's rays. In the same way, even if you do not remove my cruel sins, my heart will blossom and melt only in response to your endless divine qualities. Here, Azhwar expresses that his attachment to the Lord does not depend on the immediate removal of suffering or sin. His heart is drawn naturally and solely to Perumal's Kalyana Gunas or divine virtues. That bond is intrinsic, not conditional. This Pasuram illustrates the ruler-ruled relationship. Just like the sun rules over the lotus, we are ruled by Yemberaman's Kalyana Gunas. Pasuram 7. எத்தனையும் வான் மறந்த காலத்தும் பைங்கூழ்கள் மைத்தெழுந்த மாமுகிலே பார்த்திருக்கும் மற்றவை போல் மெய்த்துயர் வீட்டா விடினும் விற்றுவக்கோட்டம்மா என் சித்தம் மிகவும் பாலே வைப்பன்னடியேனே. Kulashekara Azhwar says, no matter how delayed the rains may be, crops in the field still turn upward, longing for dark rain clouds. In the same way, I will endure the results of my actions and keep my thoughts fixed on you alone. Azhwar compares himself and all of us to growing crops and Perumal to the life-giving rain clouds. Just as plants cannot survive without rain, the soul cannot endure without Emperuman's shower of mercy. However long the wait, the crop's hope remains fixed on rain clouds. Similarly, a true seeker stays focused on Emperuman. This pasuram reflects the ultimate knowledge, Emperuman, and the seeker relationship. Pasuram 8. தொக்கிலங்கியாரெல்லாம் பரந்தோடி தொடுகடலே புக்கன்றிப்புறம் நிற்க மாட்டாதே மற்றவை போல் மிக்கிலங்கு முகில் நிறத்தாய் விற்றுவக்கோட்டம்மா உன் புக்கிலங்கு சீரல்லால் புக்கிலன்கான் புண்ணியனே. Azhwar declares, a river, though turbulent and meandering in many directions as it flows, will ultimately merge with the sea. In the same way, my wandering mind will eventually focus on your divine qualities. Azhwar acknowledges that his distracted mind is like an uncontrolled river. Eventually, his mind will immerse itself only in the sea of Emperuman's auspicious qualities. In this metaphor, the river always drains into the sea. Thus, the sea is the natural owner of the river's waters. Thus, this pasuram illustrates owner-property relationship. Pasuram 9. நின்னையே தான் வேண்டி நீள் செல்வம் வேண்டாதான் தன்னையே தான் வேண்டும் செல்வம் போல் மாயத்தால் மின்னையே சேர்த்திகிரி விற்றுவக்கோட்டம்மா நின்னையே தான் வேண்டி நிற்பன் அடியேனே. Azhwar says, wealth will seek those who ignore it and seek only you, my Lord of Vittruvakkodu. Similarly, I will be steadfast in my desire to reach you in spite of your Maya. Here, the wealth Azhwar refers to is Kainkarya Lakshmi, eternal service to Emperuman. This is the real wealth that seeks those who are devoted to Perumal only. Vyakyanams say that this pasuram portrays the relationship between the desired and the desirer. Pasuram 10. விற்றுவக்கோட்டம்மா நீ வேண்டாயே ஆயிடினும் மற்றாரும் பற்றிலேன் என்று அவனைத்தாள் நயந்த கொற்றவேல் தானை குலசேகரன் சொன்ன நற்றமிழ் பத்தும் வல்லார் நன்னார் நரகமே. Azhwar explains that he composed this Tirumozhi on the sacred feet of Vittruvakkotamman to affirm one truth. He has no refuge other than Emperuman, even if Emperuman rejects him. Azhwar goes on to state that those who chant this Padhigam will never go to Naragam. Vyakyanams on this Padhigam explain that Azhwar conveys 9 types of bonds that we have with Emperuman. These are not casual associations, but deep, intrinsic connections that are fundamental to our very being. Our elders, therefore, refer to these as the Nava Sambandham. குலசேகர ஆழ்வார் திருவடிகளே சரணம். பெரியவாச்சான் பிள்ளை திருவடிகளே சரணம்.